Hey Storytime friends, thanks for joining today at Storytime with Andy. Today we are reading The Antlered Ship, and you can see it right there, this ship with these big wooden antlers carved into the front of it. So this is about a herd of animals. There's some foxes, some deer, even some pigeons who go on an adventure, and they come across some pirates along the way, and you'll see in the end where their adventure takes them. So hope you guys like this book. I hope Daxton and Parker are in Leland, North Carolina like this one. Some of the drawings in here are really cool. Like, be sure to pay attention to the pirate drawings. Some of those characters are so fun. Hope you two like them. And we're gonna draw at the end. Love to draw here. So we're gonna draw this, which is an antlered anchor, which is a little bit of a tongue twister, okay? But we're gonna draw that, so make sure you have a crayon and a piece of paper when we are done reading, okay? You guys ready to do it? The Antlered Ship by Dashka Slater and the Fan Brothers. The day the antlered ship arrived, Marco wondered about the wide world. He had so many questions. Why do some songs make you happy and others make you sad? Why don't trees ever talk? How deep does the sun go when it sinks into the sea? But when he posed these questions to the other foxes, they grew silent. "What does that have to do with chicken stew?" they would ask. So Marco went down to the harbor to see the ship, and 3 deer greeted him at the gangplank. Marco wasn't surprised to learn that they were lost. "We hope to hire a seaworthy crew," explained Sylvia, the captain. "I'm afraid we aren't very good sailors." "Well, I'll join you," Marco said. He thought to himself, "I'll search the seas for foxes who know the answers to my questions." And a pigeon named Victor volunteered, along with his entire flock. "We want to have adventures," they cooed. "Well, welcome aboard," Captain Sylvia said. "We're going to a wonderful island with tall, sweet grass and short, sweet trees. When we get there, we'll eat a delectable dinner." But the voyage was more difficult than anyone expected. It rained, waves crashed over the sides of the deck. Why is water so wet? Marco wondered. And the pigeons weren't used to the hard work of raising and lowering the sails. And after the first day, they went below decks to play checkers and stayed there. And the deer worried about the sharp rocks and the fierce pirates, and feeling seasick, they huddled in the bow and waited for something bad to happen. After days of drifting and dining on crackers, the animals were damp and cranky. "We should have stayed in the woods," Sylvia said. "Deer aren't supposed to go to sea." "We should have stayed in the park," added Victor. "Pigeons aren't supposed to do hard labor." Marco eyed the deer and the pigeons. "Foxes aren't supposed to be vegetarian," he said. "Still, we must do the best we can." That evening, Marco found a recipe book in the galley and cooked a warm and reviving stew. "Should we look at the charts?" he asked after everyone had eaten. "We might find adventure here," said Victor. "And trouble here," said Sylvia. "But we'll find the island with the tall, sweet grass and short, sweet trees here. And perhaps foxes too," Marco thought. Foxes with answers. As they plotted their course, the wind picked up. The storm clouds thinned into marvelous swirls. "Raise the sails!" Sylvia cried. In the morning, they came to the maze of sharp rocks, each one large enough to tear the bottom from the boat. But the pigeons flew ahead, tracing a path through the shoals and sharp rocks to the safety of the open sea. The next afternoon, a pirate ship burst from behind a rocky island. "Turn over your treasure," the pirate captain bellowed, "or we'll put a hole in your helm." "Lower the antlers," Sylvia commanded. The ships clashed and crashed and smashed until the pirates turned and fled. That evening, An island appeared on the horizon with tall, waving grasses and short, swaying trees. "We found it!" Sylvia cried. "We have triumphed!" Victor cooed. Do you see any foxes?" Marco asked. The deer grazed the grass and nibbled the trees. The pigeons told stories of their adventures to a flock of admiring seagulls. And Marco scoured the island for foxes. But he didn't find any. "I've failed," Marco told Sylvia and Victor. "No foxes, no one to answer my questions." "What questions?" Victor asked. Marco took a deep breath. "Do islands like being alone? Do waves look more like horses or swans? And what's the best way to find a friend you can talk to?" "Well, that last one's easy," Sylvia said. "You make friends by eating together." "I disagree," said Victor. "You make friends by having adventures together." "Maybe you're both right," Marco said. "But I think you make friends by asking them questions." "Well then," mused Sylvia, "should we head home tomorrow? Or should we visit the island of scrumptious shrubbery?" "Are 2 adventures enough?" asked Victor. "Or should we have at least one more?" "Is it better to know what's going to happen?" wondered Marco. "Or better to be surprised?" There were so many questions left to answer, and so many more to ask. So, in the morning, they raised the anchor and hoisted the heavy sails. They knew now that the wind would come and go. The clouds would sometimes make marvelous swirls and sometimes make them wet, and that everything they hoped to find could be found aboard an antlered ship on the way to wherever they were going. The end. All right, that was the Antlered Ship, and we are going to draw. And man, I just love the drawings in this book. I love the shape of this antlered ship here. I even like how, like in the pirate ship, see the deer ship has antlers on it, but on the pirate ship it looks like an elephant. Did you catch that? Pretty cool drawing, huh? And normally I pick a page from inside the book for us to draw, but I'm gonna show you something really sneaky, and we're gonna draw it today. So lots of times you'll get a book and it'll have kind of this paper cover on the front. This is called a dust jacket, okay? And a lot of times if you take the dust jacket off, which is what we're gonna do, then what you get is a totally different picture under that jacket. So look, what was hidden under that dust jacket was an anchor with horns on it, which I thought was so, so cool. And so we are going to draw that today, okay? Pretty cool. Makes sense that a ship that had antlers on the front of it would have an anchor that had antlers on it. So we are going to draw that today underneath our dust jacket. So let's draw an anchor, okay? First thing we're gonna do is right around the middle of your page, kind of, we're gonna draw a skinny rectangle, okay? Just like that. Perfect. Now you're gonna come up and you're gonna draw a small rectangle like that, and then give it one more line on the outside, just like that, okay? Now we're going to draw a circle around. So first we'll start right here. We're gonna draw a circle up and to that point. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Start at that point, come to that one. Easy. And then we're gonna come down here and we're gonna do the same thing. Circle up and around. There's the top of our anchor, okay? Nice job. Now we're gonna come right about where this little rectangle was. You're gonna come down here, draw a straight line that's about that long, okay? Nice job. Now, we are going to draw the part that keeps the ship down there in the water. So come up like this and do it on the other side too, okay? Now for the fun part, the antlers. So antlers are really just, you know, lots of horns. So you can see it's just going out and in, out and in, out and in like that. So you guys can follow along with me. So we're gonna go in, out, in. Maybe we'll come up a little bit higher. Out, in, and way up to the top. We'll do one. Come back down, go back out again. Maybe do like a double on that one. You just keep going out and in like that, okay? And then when you're done with your antler, bring it down to a point. Ooh, my marker's running out. Bring it down to a point like that, okay? So you've got one side done. Now we're gonna do the same on the other side, okay? We're gonna go out and in, out and in, out and in, just like deer antlers, right? Out and in, get a bunch of horns coming off of it. And then when you're done, meet it at that point that you made. Look at that, there is your antlered anchor. And now we're going to draw a rope. So you're gonna start up here and just kind of bring it down to there. And then gonna do the same thing again, okay? Now it's gonna go behind the anchor and it's gonna come back out. So come like that and stop. It's gonna go behind one more time, then we'll bring it down here. Now, ropes always, they're like twisted. So you can draw like a bunch of little diagonal lines in this if you want to show that it is a rope. Make it look like all of those twisted strands. And then when you get to the bottom, you can just kind of make it look kind of frayed, okay? And there is your antlered anchor from the antlered ship, okay? So let's draw our title of our book on here, The Antlered Ship. T-H-E-A-N-T-L-E-R-E-D, The Antlered Ship. S-H-I-P. Nice job, you guys. Way to go. All right, I am glad you guys drew along with us. I'd love to see those pictures. It was really cool to kind of see the dust jacket come off and the picture hidden below there, right? And I'll show you something else. There's another one on the back. This is an antlered ship's wheel. Pretty cool, huh? All the details that are hidden under your dust jacket. You never know. Take a peek under there and you'll see, okay? All right, friends, I want to see your drawings from today. You can have your mom or dad send them to me and I'll include them in a future video. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, stay well and keep reading.